All right. It is currently 9:03 p.m. on a Saturday evening. And I just watched the Dodgers have one of the worst losses in their history. Let me set the scene for you here. If you weren't watching. Most of you were, as I can tell by all the DMs that I got, and I will get to them. I apologize. I'm trying to record this. Um Yoshinobu Yamamoto was two strikes away from a no-hitter. A no-hitter. Dodgers were winning 3-0, and then on a 2-1 pitch, he gives up a solo home run to Jackson Holliday in right field. No-hitter gone, shutout gone, and then Dave Roberts decides to take him out. And then all hell breaks loose. Blake Trinan and Tanner Scott, some of your big acquisitions during the offseason last year, could not get one fucking out. And the Orioles come back to beat the Dodgers 4-3. They walk off the Dodgers for the second straight night, and the Dodgers have now lost 5 games in a row. And I'm here to tell you right now, again, it's September 6th when you're hearing this video. I'm out. I'm out on the Los Angeles Dodgers in 2025. This team ain't doing shit. I know it's probably crazy to say that with a month left to go here in the season, but this is not a World Series team. And honestly, at this point, I don't even know if they're a postseason team. They haven't played like it, especially this week. Everything that could go wrong with this team is going wrong. Can't hit, they can't pitch, can't field, can't do anything to win a baseball game right now. And it really felt like one, Yamamoto was gonna get the no hitter. Dodgers were gonna, get some mojo back. Like, all right, finally, maybe Yamamoto getting this no hitter or at least being able to get the win was like, all right, maybe it's gonna catapult this Dodger team into getting back on track here in the final weeks of the season. Didn't happen. Did not happen. So I'm out on this team this year. They just have too many problems, too many question marks. Guys can't get anybody out. Hitters can't score with runner. Hitters can't drive in guys with runners in scoring position. It's just all gone wrong right now. So if you were looking for me to be optimistic and positive right now, this is not the place for it. You want to go find some positivity, go find, Dodgers Nation or some crap like that. They'll lie to you and tell you, oh, yeah, everything's going to be fine. You just got to get a win tomorrow. Bullshit. This team is not winning shit this year. I'm sorry, they're just not. They could go out and win the NL West this year. I'm not going to care. I'm really not. I know it's, again, it's heat of the moment. The game ended about 2 hours ago, but holy shit. Like, how do you not get a win? Seriously, And this was after Miguel Rojas, which shout out to him because he actually has been backing up his play. He basically called the team out after I think Wednesday night's loss against Pittsburgh, and I think he said at the beginning of this month, oh yeah, now we're gonna start playing good baseball. They haven't won a game since then. Have not won a game since. It's just annoying, man. It really is, We were promised a lot more than this. We were. I think about it, and if you go back and listen to everybody's previews, including mine, I'm not ashamed to admit that I was wrong. We were all talking about how, hey, you know what? Maybe this Dodger team, on paper, they're so good that they can contend for that 116 all-time win mark by the 2001 Seattle Mariners. That's now. I never thought it was actually going to happen. Because that's hard to do. You have to be locked in for the whole season like that to get that feat. But I thought for sure that this was going to be a 100-win ball club. And now they might not even get to 90 wins. Forget 116, forget 100. They might not even get 90. They're going to have to scratch and claw their way just to get 90 wins this season. Insane. Insane. And, you know, obviously I check Twitter and stuff. This is going to get lost. This got lost in the shuffle, and I want to make a note of this. The only reason why one of the main reasons why the Dodgers lost the game tonight the way they did, yes, because Trinan and Scott could not get an out. But the Dodger offense continues to struggle here. And they, for some reason, I don't know what it is, can't hit with runners in scoring position right now. Can't do it. They can't do it. They had many chances throughout this game today to where the scenario that happened today, the 1 in 100 scenario, wouldn't have happened. I don't know exactly how many men they let on base tonight, but I know it was more than 5. I can tell you that right now. They left a lot of guys on base, and it's unacceptable. The Dodgers should have never been in that situation, and I have it right in front of me. 8 guys left on base today. And if you just cash in, if you shave that in half to like 4, the Dodgers win this game easily, I think. I don't know. I've been wrong before. But I feel awful for Yamamoto. Awful. He has gotten no run support all year long from this Dodger lineup. And then today, goes out there, pitches the game of his life, 2 strikes away from a no-hitter. And he doesn't even get the win because the bullpen cannot get one single out after that. And I don't like the quotes that I heard from Dave Roberts after the game. Basically, took no accountability for it. It's like you're part of this too, It's so frustrating to watch this team right now. It's been frustrating to watch this team pretty much since May, I want to say. Pretty much. I mentioned this when I did the video a couple weeks ago after they got swept by the Angels in walk-off fashion again. I told myself, maybe they're just not a good baseball team. Maybe they're just not. And they're just not a good baseball team. And I think I got my answer now. They're 20-25. That's their record since the All-Star break. That's below 500. Now, I understand they've had injuries. Muncie's been out pretty much for most of the season. Edmonds been hurt most of the season. But still, you still have Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Oscar Hernandez, all these guys in the lineup that should be able to produce more than what they've been doing the last couple weeks. I mean, they haven't scored anything. They scored 3 runs today, 1 run yesterday, 3 runs on Friday, nothing on Wednesday, and then they scored 7. Of course, the one game when they score more than 2 runs, they score 7 runs. It's not enough because their pitching can't handle it. And their pitching doesn't come through, and they lose the game 9-7. Unbelievable. Seriously. So, yeah, I'm out on this Dodger team this year. There's clearly a lot of changes that need to be made, particularly in the bullpen. You paid Tanner Scott $72 million over 4 years, and he can't even get you a fucking out for a win. Blake Trinan, you re-sign, I think it was 2 years, 11, can't even get you 1 out either. Just problems all over the place. I could be here all night and call out everybody, even Shohei Ohtani. I understand, he's in the contention for NL MVP again, but he hasn't exactly been the crazy superstar from last year. I understand that he's still hitting over 40 home runs. I get all that. But the chase rate in this guy this year has been off the charts, man. This guy swings at anything out of the fucking zone. Now, part of it is he's trying to do too much. He's trying to be the hero. like he was in his Angel days, and I don't blame him because the guys behind you aren't doing much either. Um, this is just unacceptable. The baseball that I've been watching this last couple months, and like I said earlier, if this team somehow finds a way to win the division, which the Padres are again a one game behind you, and that's the other thing that's frustrating too. While the Dodgers have been absolutely dog shit the last couple weeks, so have the Padres. And you had a golden opportunity here where you could have expanded this division lead by 5 or 6 games. 5 or 6 games. But while the Padres were losing, so were the Dodgers. And now we're the Dodgers only a game up in the division with like 3 weeks to go in the regular season. Forget the 1 seed. Forget the 2 seed. That's out. The Brewers are clearly the best team in the National League, and the Phillies are going to get the second bye. Looks like the Dodgers are going to have to play that first round in the postseason, the wild card series, if they even make it. That like there's a real possibility here. Now maybe I'm going a little too far, but I don't think it's out of the question. There's a real possibility that they could miss the postseason altogether, which a part of me, I rather they do miss the postseason this year because this team ain't doing anything and they're just going to get embarrassed again, But I guess you got to play the games. That's the only thing that's, keeping me afloat right now is that you still have the division lead and there's still time to get this right. But you're running out of time very quickly. It's September 6th, and a lot of the problems that this team has had, we were still talking about it in May. Hitting with runners in scoring position, the little things. It has been so annoying to watch Dodger catchers just completely forget how to block a baseball. I don't know how many wild pitches I've seen just in this Baltimore series alone, but it's cost them runs. And those are the little things that you have to get correct if you want to win a championship. So, maybe this World Series hangover, because it is a thing, I do believe in that. Maybe it's hitting them right now. And this is the worst possible time for it to hit them. In September, the final month of the regular season. There's just no excuses the way the Dodgers are playing right now. But I'm not going to go, I don't see it this year with this team. Like I told you, I'm out on this team this year. There's some clear holes in this roster. It just looks like the Dodgers don't want to get up for these games right now. Dave Roberts doesn't have any answers. I've been hearing him in the post game the last couple of weeks. He doesn't seem to have a clue either. This is going to be a very interesting offseason because there's clear changes that need to be made on the roster. What are they going to do with Teoscar Hernandez? He's had a disappointing year. What are they going to do with Tanner Scott? Are they going to trade him out of here? Or are they going to dump him? Because these things have to change. Something has to change here. And listen, they're not firing Dave Roberts. They just gave him an extension. They're not going to fire him. But, Andrew Friedman and Brandon Gomes, they got to answer a lot for this too. Because there was clear holes in this roster when we got to the trade deadline 2 months ago. And they did very little to address it. Very little. Alex Call, who hasn't done really much of anything since he's got here. And then Brock Stewart you brought in. I know he blew a couple games and then he got hurt. He's not even available in the bullpen right now. So nobody's going to get fired. At least I think, Brandon Gomes, Andrew Friedman, Dave Roberts, they're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. But something with this roster has to change. Has to change. Because this is unacceptable what has been happening this season. And listen, in a perfect world, I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. I hope I, gave up on this team too quickly. They figure it out here in the last couple of weeks, and they go on a run to another championship. But there has been nothing over 100 games worth of watching this team that makes me believe that this is a championship ball club. Nothing. Not much. Nada. If they somehow figure this out and go on a miraculous run, this is going to be one for the ages here. This is going to be one for the ages. But Again, I don't see that happening. You got a lot of luck already with last year winning the World Series. I don't think the baseball gods are going to bless you twice in a row, unless they figure it out on their own, which clearly they can't. So I hate to be this negative. I really do. I want to talk positive about my team, you know, but I just can't right now, you know. And if the players are checked out, now they're never going to admit that to the media or anything, but if they're checked out and they don't believe they can win it this year, why should I waste my time and think? I'm still going to watch the games, obviously, because I am a fan at the end of the day. You know, unfortunately, I probably will be watching the Dodgers tomorrow at 10:30 anyways, but if they're checked out, I'm checked out too. You know? And I just don't believe they can win a championship. I really don't. With the way they're currently playing right now. And we have a large enough sample size to believe that they're not. So I feel awful for Yamamoto. Best start of his major league career, and he doesn't even get the win because of it. That's the first time, I believe, in MLB history where a team, the starting pitcher was 1 out away from a no-hitter, can't finish it, and then the team ends up losing the game. I think that's the first time in MLB history that's happened. That's crazy. That's crazy. We've been playing baseball for over 150 years, and that's never happened before. Puts it in perspective. It really does. I don't know where you go from here. This is rock bottom. There have been so many points throughout the season where it's been rock bottom. You know, getting swept by the crappy Angels. You know, getting swept by the Pirates just 3 days ago. Getting swept by the Brewers and the Astros in 1 week. This is the low. This is rock bottom right here. Being 1 out away from a no-hitter, up 3-0, and then you lose the game 4-3. Incredible. Incredible. You can't make this stuff up, man. You really can't. I don't know where you go from here. The remainder of your schedule after tomorrow, Rockies at home, then you go to the Giants, then you come back for Phillies, Giants, and then your final road trip is Diamondbacks, Mariners. I don't know. It's not a hard schedule at all. But the way this team is playing right now, none of these games are guaranteed. None of these games are guaranteed. I can't even say they're a good enough ball club to get out of this right now because they're not. They're not a good baseball team. A couple months ago, it's like, all right, there's plenty of games to go here, you know. They're a good enough team. They'll figure it out. You can't say that right now. You can't say that right now, the way this team is performing. But somebody in that clubhouse has to be pissed off and yell at somebody or something. Somebody has to do something to get these guys back in gear because this has gone on for way too long. And the whole theme of this year, they've taken 2 steps forward because they've had some good wins. You know, taking 2 out of 3 from the Padres. You know, they've had some good series wins, starting the season 9-0. And then just when they get a little bit of momentum, they take 2 steps back. But these 2 steps back in the last week has felt a lot different. Because remember, before this series against the Pirates, they lost 2 out of 3 to a crappy Diamondbacks team. And they blew the game Sunday. They had a 4-1 lead, and they blew that also. And then Will Smith had to save them to salvage that series. But they've just had some bad losses and some bad series losses, man. To some not good baseball teams. The Rockies, the Angels, the Diamondbacks, the Cardinals. There's been so many of these series where they just can't play. They just forget how to play winning baseball. And I understand they're good against teams over 500. I can't give them the benefit of the doubt right now. I really can't. If they can't beat the crappy teams, you know, how are they going to beat these bad teams? How are they going to beat these good teams, I should say? Excuse me. It's late. I'm pissed off and I'm tired. I'm sweating my ass off in here in my garage. Um, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. You know, I don't know what to tell you. I've been watching this team for a while now, pretty much my whole life. I'm 23 years old. Um, Thankfully, the majority of my life, the Dodgers have been in the playoffs, and I have seen what a championship ball club looks like, and right now, this is not a championship ball club. It's not. So I'm not gonna waste my time and get all worked up here in a couple weeks when I know the end is near. When I know this Dodger team is just going to get bounced either in the wild card series, in the division series, or they just continue this downfall collapse and just miss the postseason altogether. They better figure this out quick because this is annoying and this is getting old. Win tomorrow. Find a way to win tomorrow, I guess. Start from there. Start from there. That's the headline. I'm out on this team. And if you still believe they can win, more power to you. You're on your own on that one. Because don't see it. I don't see it. I was ready to come down here to do a celebratory reaction episode to Yoshinobu Yamamoto's no-hitter. First no-hitter of his career. This was supposed to be a happy Saturday evening. And then the rest of the team fucked it up and they couldn't get one out. One more out. See you soon. I don't know when, but I will be back. Adios.